Virgo's connections will be moving through the 1st to the 12th house. Let's read about the 6th house, which is Virgo's house, often called the house of service. The 6th house is concerned with both service and health. This is the area of your daily responsibilities and is the house of your co-workers too. You could think of your 6th house as the work you've got to do. The 6th house is naturally ruled by Virgo, and its corresponding planet is Mercury. This translates into gaining fulfillment through skills that are of value to others. When we develop our own special competence at doing something meaningful to us that also helps others, we find satisfaction in our jobs and careers. When we don't, we tend to end up working at meaningless jobs. But your 6th house is also about your responsibilities, how you help and are of service to the world. The planets that reside in your 6th house can indicate whether you are an optimist or a pessimist in your daily work and the health problems you might be prone to. While people aren't fulfilled by their work, after all, they have a strong tendency to feel out of sorts or get sick. Your 6th house is where you'll find your desire to be competent. You can be good at many things, but it's in your 6th house that you'll find meaningful responsibility, how the things that you're good at matter to other people, and especially to you. Your 6th house sign describes your daily responsibilities and how you prefer to be of service to others. The ruler of your 6th house shows where and how you will meet your regular obligations. The house with Virgo on its cusp, the 6th house's natal sign, describes where you apply discrimination and analysis to your duties to get the results you desire. All right. Hey, thank you for your support on the video and on the channel. All right, so that's the summary for the 6th house. Now, let's get into it. Thank you for your patience. All right, so in this one, I was thinking about starting in the 12th house, Pisces house, and then working up towards the 1st house. Okay, so this is Pisces house, the 12th house. Oh, but before doing that, let's get a general reading. Okay, let's see. Okay, here we go. All right, dear Holy Spirit, please give me a general reading for Virgo. A general reading for Virgo to apply to Virgo's connections as we move through the 1st and 12th houses. General reading for Virgo. All right, so we're looking at Virgo moving towards a new beginning, closing out the old chapter of their life after going through trials and tribulations, ups and downs, ready to embark upon a new journey is what it looks like. And it looks like the previous chapter rendered a lot of valuable lessons, opportunities were gainful and profitable. So we're taking those experiences and those value systems and assets gained from the previous chapter into the new chapter. All right, so as far as relationships are concerned, it looks like there's valuable connections moving with Virgo, and it looks like there's a likelihood for these connections to either be sustained or raised to a higher level of commitment going forward. Looks like some soulmate connections at the very least. Those are the connections that are coming to your life to teach you things about yourself and about others and about your presence in the world. So that's what I have. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm going to put a pin in that translation for the reading, but I would like to get additional information as well, just out of my curiosity. So, dear Holy Spirit, please clarify these positions on the table. Working with my stacked deck. Let's see here. So I pretty much have a clarifier here that reiterates what was already stated. There's not much, you know, there's not much here that would vary, that would change, that would alter the interpretation. Nope. Okay. So the Knight of Pentacles is clarified with the Ace of Swords, meaning it's there to symbolize what what it symbolizes. It is what it is. The Knight of Pentacles. Yes. All right. Then we have the World, and it's being clarified with the Seven of Fire, which I like to describe the Corinth standing on their square at a position of leverage. And then the Apprentice is being clarified by its own card. So I feel like, you know, the Ace of Swords clarifying the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, the Pentacles move slowly. The Knight is a slow-moving embodiment talking about, it confirms for me energies from the past, the life lessons, the ups and the downs, the trials, the tribulations. Those lessons were mastered, and they also rendered a lot of profit. Like, it was very valuable lessons that Virgo learned in that chapter, and they're taking that with them with this clarity. You know, the ups and the downs while going through those trials and tribulations and challenges. At times it wasn't so clear, you know. So I feel like Virgo really tussled with those lessons in some cases to get everything that they could get out of it, you know. In the mental sense, that Swords is a mentality, and it talks about learning, communication, logic, information, technology. So that's what I'm feeling there. So yay, we got to clarify that. We can move on now and start to look at the connection itself. So I like to do these general readings because the following readings, this is like establishing a status quo of what we're looking at. So when we get into the connections and start to see the intricacies there, this is the reference point that we can see. Well, this is the general reading, so how does the other readings, how does it check out compared to this one? What are the differences? What are the variances, etc., you know? So let's take a look at that. So we'll start out looking at Virgo with Pisces, aka the 12th house and the 6th house connection. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Virgo and Pisces connections. Alright, so this is the card that I was given, but then these cards wanted to be seen. So in general, this feels like it's in alignment with the general reading that we just did. Okay. I feel like this reading also encompasses new connections and older connections, because we're looking at either a desire to meet up, and it looks like the energy just feels like for the first time, like meet up in the flesh, meet up in person, spend some quality time together, and or have a reconciliation. Both of these interpretations are valid. And also there's intentions for this first meetup and or for the reconciliation to ascend to a higher level of commitment, like these, you know, these Pisces coming towards you, Virgo, and or there's mutual energy here for sure. Both of you have a mindset, but definitely Pisces, because this is Pisces energy on the table, have a mindset to take this connection serious, you know, like there's intention for a long-term relationship between the two of you. Okay, yeah, but I got a series of card combinations here, so let's take a look at that. Okay, so these card combinations, I feel like it encompasses mostly describing the connections where you have actually known each other. You guys have experience with one another in some capacity. There's some history. And so this will talk about having a reconciliation. Maybe your Pisces is coming to you with an apology and or trying to extend an olive branch to have a new start with you. Okay, this is indication that there's some distance, but there's attraction and the desire to want to come and have stability with you, maybe even, live together. So there's some obstructive interference here. Could be differences in the way that you guys think. It could have been a arguing or a fight, some difference here that your person is wanting to get over and start over and have a new start, and also feeling like the past differences and arguing that you had in the past, they've taken those experiences, they feel like they've taken those lessons and have learned from them and can be a better partner to you, better friend to you, better lover to you in the near future. Okay, so it also looks like there's a desire to want to communicate, reach out, talk to you, have a conversation. Whether they do or not, though, is not, that information is not available. Alright, and that's a clear shot right there for this reading. So we'll go ahead and move into our next house, which will be the 11th house. That's going to be Aquarius's house. Alright, because that's such a good reading, and it was so clear that we can now progress into the next house here. Let's see. Alright. Thank you for your patience. Oops, we're going to go this way. Okay, Aquarius. Alright. Hey, you guys. Thank you so much for your support on the video and on the channel. Greetings in the chat. Dear Holy Spirit, please put resonance in the deck to give me a reading for Virgo and Aquarius. I am picking up a sense of impatience in this connection. Yeah, it's like there's a strong desire to want to go, to want to pick up, to want to experience, have an experience. Okay, a lot of passion, a lot of chemistry. It feels very pent up. Primal urges. And it's just getting more frustrating. So it's getting more frustrating because there's a wait, there's a delay, there's a pause, there's separation. Alright, but basically I'm feeling an intense connection here, a desire, a passion, wanting to come together, and it's very strong passion. Okay, so I'm going to try to go as fast as I can. And with that, we'll go ahead and move to our next reading. Which is going to look at Virgo and Capricorn connection. Dear Holy Spirit, please put resonance in the deck to give me a reading for Virgo and Capricorn, the 6th and 10th house connections. Alright, Virgo and Capricorn. I'm picking up that there's a sustained connection here that's valuable. It looks like there's some longevity for this particular connection. You guys have known each other for a long time and have sustained a frequency that is stable, pleasurable, balanced, harmonious, and it feels like it has the qualities to remain that way. Ten of Pentacles, Temperance, and the Nine of Cups. I just need a moment to restack the deck, and then we'll move into our next reading, which will be for Sagittarius and Virgo connections. And this is Sagittarius's card. Okay, let's take a look. The Temperance. Let's see. Dear Holy Spirit, please put resonance in the deck to give me a reading for Virgo and Sagittarius. Alright, so here we come out in reflection, wondering, questioning, like even getting this reading feels like Sagittarius could come look at this reading and say, yeah, what is going on with my Virgo connection, you know? Then I have the Magician and the Eight of Swords. So I feel that there is a connection here, that your energy is in their energy. Their energy is definitely in yours. You're thinking about them. Are they thinking about you? Let's go ahead and take a look and see. Usually I'll look for a clarifier for these cards, but instead let's tap into Virgo's energy in this reading and see what is their energy towards you. Dear Holy Spirit, please tap into Virgo and show me the mutual energies here for Virgo towards Sagittarius. Okay, so I am getting a confirmation that, well, I asked for mutual energy. So I was going to say that there's mutual energy here. But there is an offense. They feel offended. They feel like there's some heartbreak. There's some disappointment in your connection. And it feels like they feel like you could be manipulative, or that your energy is really strong and overbearing. That type of manipulation, manipulative could be the wrong word, but that your persuasion, your mentality is very strong. Overwhelming could be destabilizing for them. And that part I feel is mutual, because it feels like you feel the same way about them as far as their strong persuasion or their strong mentality could be destabilizing to you too. So it's a weird type of attraction, like opposites attract, because it's the dissonance, it's the challenge, it's even the agitation that somehow seems to keep you in each other's energy and also attracted, like there's a bond there, but it's like you guys frustrate each other. Like you might argue a lot, really. And it's like they're just trying to explain themselves or defend themselves. And then it feels like Sagittarius just feels like it's a headache. Like static from a radio that's not on a real channel or something. But that's what I'm getting here for this connection, guys. Let's see. Now, it feels like now that that's been talked about, let's pull the cards again and see what it says. Okay. Let me see. Huh. I try not to take too long because sometimes then I get pulled into a reading. Let's see. Okay. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me resonance in the deck for another reading for Sagittarius and Virgo connections. Okay. Alright. So here is just saying, what is the likelihood for this connection to ascend to a higher level of commitment? And I'm literally getting unknown with the moon energy. It's unknown. One thing that is being stated again is the Eight of Swords energy. So it, you know, the way I describe the Eight of Swords is holding on out of obligation. It feels like it's a self-imposed imprisonment. Like they choose to hold on to your connection. It's out of choice. Maybe they could let go, but they don't want to. Yeah, you see, and it's being clarified with the Eight of Pentacles. That would even suggest they're open to work on the connection with you too. Yeah, it feels like there's some unfinished business. Like they see potential in the connection. It feels like it's saying there's a willingness to want to work on that with you. With the Ace of Fire. And this is technically Sagittarius's energy, so that would be directed to Virgo. Like your Sagittarius is holding on to your connection because they want to, and they would be willing to try to work out whatever differences that you have. But I do feel like there's a, I was gonna say stuff and repeat myself, but I'm gonna be quiet for a second so we can move to our next reading now. Thank you for your patience. I was just going to repeat myself. The next house we'll look at for the connection is Scorpio and Virgo. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Scorpio and Virgo, the 6th and 8th house connections. Alright, so this reading comes on the stage to say that it feels abundant. It feels like you guys are able to meet any challenge. It feels that this connection also has some history where you've already weathered storms together. You guys have known each other enough to come to the Ten of Pentacles here. This is the height of Pentacles to have. And it looks like there's anticipation. Like this is a type of connection where you look forward to more adventures, more journey, more lessons, more experiences together. And then we have this apprentice here that says pretty much the same thing in another form. This is the last major arcana in the tarot, and this is the first major arcana in the tarot. So I feel like there's excitement in this connection to experience life together on all levels. That's a straightforward reading, so we'll be able to move to our next house, which is the 7th house, Libra. Dear Holy Spirit, please put resonance in the deck to give me a reading for Libra and Virgo, the 7th and 6th house connections. Okay, so this connection looks like there's high potential for reconciliation for those that know each other already. This is a connection that seems to lean towards you know each other already. But for those where you have just met, maybe you don't have much experience together anyhow, your person is coming on the stage looking at you and wondering, yeah, how do I feel about Virgo? It feels like there's an attraction here, there's a desire to come together, and it feels like you could even have met the one here with this magician. It says like things, it just like, it feels like when you initially met, for those of you who have met and maybe have gotten to know each other, it felt like the timing is off. The timing was off back then, but it looks like there's a thought process here talking about maybe the timing is better now. So I just do feel a need to clarify this, especially because the magician at times have two meanings, at least two. There could be a finesser, or it could be things coming into alignment and talking about the timing as described. So let's take a look here. Let's see. Hello in the chat. Hi everybody. Thank you for your support on the video and on the channel. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the card positions on the table. Yeah, see, so I feel like there's a confirmation of what I said on the table, but then like I also was picking up, there's dual interpretation here. So it being a general reading, it looks like both are applicable, you know? You could have met the one, the timing could have been a little off. I mean, this suggests like not really sure if the timing will be on if you tried it again or not. See here, I feel like this is the timing and there's potential for it to be out of alignment again. And I feel like that points us back to the 13 major arcana with this Ace of Fire. Yeah, the desire to have a new start. There's definitely chemistry here, with that being 13 major arcana, aka the death card, but that points us to the 8th house. The 8th house that deals with sex and passion and erotica, but it also deals with regeneration, like, you know, a new beginning after an ending, purges, and etc. Transformation, transformative energy. It could be a lot of different things. A lot of different things, with that pointing to the 8th house and the death card. So it's almost just like, I mean, but especially the passion. And then here with the 7 of Pentacles being clarified with the Knight of Pentacles, that's a confirmation of what I was saying. Coming onto the stage, Libra says, how do I feel about Virgo? Definitely worth it. Yeah, definitely worth to try to see what's going on, and also having this knowingness about you that you're somebody that would want to have a serious relationship with them. That's one thing that they understand. So they're coming out with the Knight of Pentacles with that understanding. So I feel like that's a clarifier of what I had already said. And the additional information is just more pronounced with them coming out with the Knight of Pentacles. They could have came out with anything. They could have came out with the Page of Cups. They could have came out with anything, but they're coming out with the Knight of Pentacles. So I feel like that's a confirmation of what was stated there. But then we have this dynamic embodiment as was described. So one thing for sure though is that there's a sexual attraction and that there's a chemistry between the two of you two, and that there's passion. You guys have either experienced each other before, so they know that's something that's definitely pulling them towards you. And if you haven't experienced each other before, that's something that's very much on your mind and their mind. I feel like it's mutual between the two of you, but that's something the data is not quite available for. But this is powerful, powerful chemistry, powerful attraction there. And then with that much power, with that much of an attraction, with that spark, who knows, anything could happen after that. Who knows, anything could happen after that. So that is the reading that I have for Virgo and Libra. I had to gather myself together to be like, what house am I in again? That's correct. I'm gonna get my scruples. I'm gonna be quiet for a second so I can restack the deck and move forward into our next house. Okay, thank you for your patience. So the next house here is going to be Virgo with other Virgos. Okay, so Virgo, the viewer, this is your reading, and we're looking at your Virgo, your person of interest, energy. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Virgo and Virgo connections. Technically, that's Virgo's card, the Page of Pentacles. Let's see what else. Okay, so now this looks like a connection where you guys could either be friends, associates, platonic, you know. I'm just paused at the family, but anyhow, yeah, when I said that out loud, it's like, I think that's irrelevant for this. And then you guys are a match as far as your Virgo and your Virgo, you match each other's energy. So I feel like that's being stated there. You're a match, and I see still that you could either remain the friends that you are, the supportive connection that you have is sustained. All right, so that's a sure interpretation. And then with that being said, it's like you guys just, yeah, continue your friendship, continue your connection into your next chapter like that, possibly for a lifetime. It's just like that. That's one reading. We can put a pin in that one because that's a pretty clear translation. The other thing though is saying that it looks like there is a desire for at least one of you to see if there's, yeah, if you can make it more serious. Like they may have made a gesture asking you if you could be exclusive, if that's what it feels like. And it feels like though that their suggestion may not have been answered, yeah, kind of ignored a little bit, yeah, and then it just kind of goes on like, no, you're my friend, or just not even addressing it and going on in that direction. So I mean, in that extent, this card could have a double meaning. Like, I mean, your person could accept that they feel ignored, or like they weren't really acknowledged as far as taking that connection to a higher level of commitment. So you might see a little diminished quality to the connection that you had, because this person just is looking for somebody. I mean, not saying that they're just, it looks like they value your friendship, However, there also was wanting something more serious, you know? Yeah. Okay. That's what's being stated there. And so because there are dual translations, let's get a clarifier and see what else happens. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the card combinations on the table. Yeah. I feel like that literally confirms what I just said. I'm not really seeing a variant anywhere in what I said here. You see, even down to the point where I said it looks like for sure your connection, it looks like it's sustainable for, shoot, a lifetime. I mean, it for a very long time at least, you know, at least several additional chapters going forward. It looks like this is a sustained connection. However, this is talking about a friendship, you know, a friendship more so, where we're looking at your person wanting to have more, you know. And I feel like this is a confirmation too. Yes, this is Virgo and Venus. Yeah, your person wants to raise the connection to a higher level of commitment, you know. They feel like they could have that potential with you, and it looks like that's what they're looking for. That's what they want at the end of the day in their connections, you know. So I feel like that's a confirmation there, restating what was already said. And as far as here, you know, as I said, I don't really know. It seems like the sky is the limit as far as what can happen in the future. There could be a diminished quality to your connection, you know, whereas, for an example, you may have checked in with each other every day, talked on the phone to each other every day, used to daydream, you know, all of the things could be diminished now. Maybe you don't talk as much anymore, you know, maybe you don't daydream or communicate as much as you used to anymore. However, it's being stated energetically, though, that you do have a place in the heart, and that place seems like it's etched for a very long time, if not for a lifetime. So that's what I'm looking at there. The energies here. Yeah, talk about the nostalgic quality of your connection. However, potentially needing to disconnect and move forward because they're wanting something more serious. And also being stated here that this is a connection where there's a love and there's respect for a lifetime. With the King of Cups and the Magician there. So that's what I have for this one, guys. Thank you for your patience while I'll stack the deck and move us into our next reading in just a moment. Okay, so our next connection that we'll look at with Virgo is Leo. Happy birthday season, Leo. And Virgo's up next. Okay, let's see. Leo and Virgo. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Leo and Virgo connection, the 5th and 6th house connection. Hello in the chat. Hi everybody. Thank you for your support on the video and on the channel, guys. I appreciate you so much for the opportunity to grow here with you. Alright, so for this one, guys, it looks like at least one of you made a gesture. It looks like they were serious. You might not have known if they were serious or not, but this here says energetically they were serious, wondering if you guys could be serious. serious. How many times I want to say that? If you could take this connection to a higher level of commitment, or if you think about being married, do you think about a long-term relationship, you know? So it looks like there may have been some hinting about that in the past. Okay, and again, it does look like they haven't got the response that they were looking for. It's almost as if maybe they've been ignored, you know? But the temperance is here, so it does seem like there's some uncertainty, and it also feels like, okay, if they ignored or didn't respond, it almost seemed obvious that there were things that would clash or create obstacles that would make that reality kind of an impossibility, with the obstacles in the way for sure, or something about the connection seemed to be a mismatch, something just really different, you know, about the connection. So the alchemist is there, which talks about blending energy, blending elements together that don't normally mix well. So there's a pause there. And in the meantime, though, it does describe that there's favorability in the connection, that there's love, you know, admiration here. And also, if you were to ever meet, they expect to have a good time with you. So it looks like they have good feelings for you, that they also appreciate and respect the serious conversation that you had, or that you talked about, or that you hinted towards the relationship. If they haven't responded directly to you energetically, it feels that it established some longevity in your connection, that they appreciate that. That's what I'm picking up here. Let's see, are we curious to get additional information about it? Let me see. Dear Holy Spirit, please continue. So, okay, I'll get, hold on. Okay, yeah. Okay, guys. What was I going to say now? I wanted to say stuff, but it's like, no, keep pulling the cards. But I feel like, yeah, this is a confirmation, right? Remember I said I felt like this gesture was ignored. And that's, yeah, there was not really a response. So that's a clarifier there. And then as far as, but I said, I feel like though, although it was ignored, it did have a impact, a positive impact that created some sustainability in your connection. So it's, this temperance is being clarified with the Four of Fire. Also, it felt like there was something that wasn't quite gelling together, or to even make that suggestion a reality. So it's almost as if it felt like, were you joking? Are you serious? But they just didn't address it. So here's the alchemist, though, in the air to say, well, if it is a possibility, you know, things may be out of sync now, or it feels like an impossibility, but it's one I don't want to count out. You see, so I feel like that clarifies the alchemist, the temperance energy there. And then as far as, but I said, but it does look like if you were to ever spend time together, there is a hint towards you guys having a good time. They expect to enjoy your energy, enjoy your presence, enjoy the company. And it kind of like has this, it's being clarified by the apprentice. So if any additional information would be added, it might be here, you know, because it's like, yeah, it just feels like there's freedom. Like, they're not putting it in a box. They're not putting it in the box. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. But yeah, so that's what I have there. So I'm going to restack the deck and move us into our next house. Thank you for your patience. All right, so our next connection will be for Cancer and Virgo. So the 4th house and 6th house. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Virgo and Cancer, the 6th and 4th house connections. Okay, I just got to make sure the charger is on. Oh, let's see. What's that charger on? Yeah, good. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this connection here, it looks like this one has some history. So this particular connection looks like it has history for there to even be a knight in motion coming towards Virgo. Technically, this would be Cancer's energy headed towards a Virgo. Yeah, so it looks like you guys have known each other because Pentacles are slow moving. And we're coming on the stage with the Knight of Pentacle moving toward Virgo. And it looks like there's a high likelihood of a new start, of compatibility, attraction, an ignition here. Okay, passion there. And then it seems to also be flowing in that direction with the Page of Cups here. So it looks like you guys are moving toward each other. It feels like there's intention for this to be moving in the capacity of the Knight of Pentacles, like I said, for this to have the intention for a long-term connection. There's intention for a long-term connection here. Okay? And although that intention is there, though, you guys, it does look like once you meet up and experience each other in real life, I am looking at the diminished nature of it being a Page of Cups. At least it's a Page of Cups. At least it's something that lets me know, okay, this is moving forward, and it's not devastation, it's not repulsion, it is a Page of Cups. So I could see somebody, maybe a Virgo, saying, hey, what happened to my Knight of Pentacles? No. Everybody got jokes, huh? Anyhow, let's see what's going on. So with that being said, though, I do want to clarify, what happened to the Knight of Pentacles? We're looking at a Page of Cups, but hey, it's better than nothing, huh? Let me see what's going on. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify these positions. Okay, so what's being stated so far is that, yeah, this is coming towards you with the Knight. It's being clarified with the Eight of Pentacles, though. It talks about, yeah, your Cancer had to work so hard to get to you. They had to work so hard for this connection. That's why they're coming. It's describing the work. It's describing the effort they had to put into it. So, yo, I literally heard, though, what do they say? Something is not worth, the squeeze wasn't worth the juice. I know, man. Why would I say something like that? But the Ace of Fire is being clarified by the Hangman, like, hey, that could be a fast burn instead of a long burn of passion, you know? That could just be a wham bam, thank you ma'am. Or is it something that can be sustained? Can you know, sustain that? And also somebody working so hard and so long just to get a moment with you. It almost looks like that's a recipe for wham bam thank you. And so that's where I left off there. And it's not like it wasn't good. It was good to have this Page of Cups. That's what I'm looking here. But, you know, yeah, look at this. Was the squeeze worth the juice type energy? And you're looking like, you know, okay. So we're not done. Hey, in the chat. Hi, everybody. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. I appreciate the support on the video, on the channel, and interaction in the chat. Thank you. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Page of Cups. Why is the Page of Cups there? Yeah, see here? It's being clarified with the Seven of Cups. There's uncertainty. Okay. Emotional overwhelmness. Other options too. So, yeah, there we have it, guys. So the highlighted area of concern is to be careful about a wham bam, thank you ma'am type energy, of a fast burn when you've worked so hard to establish a connection that you want longevity and you want a serious relationship. If that is the case, then there would be a highlighted area of concern there. All right. Okay. So now we're going to look at Virgo's connection with Gemini, the third house, in just a moment. I feel like I got something in my eyes. Yeah, drink of water. Okay. Okay, here we go. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Virgo and Gemini, the 6th and 3rd house. Okay, so I'm picking up some distance and disconnection between the two of you. All right, yeah, a disconnect, and this would be Gemini's energy. It looks like frustrated, dissonance, not what they expected, not what it appears on the outside. Looking in, See, because it looks all beautiful on the outside and all lovely, but it it gave a headache. And so turn their back on this connection is what it looks like here, and looking out towards their horizon, their landscape, and purging this connection is what it looks like here. For this particular connection, this is not going to resonate with every Virgo and Gemini connection, but this particular one is being purged out. And let's see. Yep. All right. I was going to look for something to confirm or to clarify, but that's very straightforward. So we can move on to our next reading, which is going to look at Virgo and Taurus connections. And so I feel like, sorry guys for those Virgo and Geminis that are having a good connection, but this is the reading I got. And let's see. So yeah, if you're having a good connection with your Gemini, please, please disregard this reading. Okay. Alright, so here we go. We're ready to move into look at connections with Virgo and Taurus. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Virgo and Taurus, the 6th and 2nd house. Okay, so there's a card combination here in the stack deck with the 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. So it looks like there's a love offer. Looks like there's potential for a quality connection here. And yeah, it looks like there's love. And again, the pursuit to have more, and also a willingness to work on that connection too in the past. With the Apprentice and the 8 of Pentacles there, I'm not sure how things will progress, so I'm eager to look ahead and see what happens next. All right, let's see. Okay, so it looks like that energy is sustained as far as being open to check this connection, and with the potential and the ideal that this could be the one that you guys could have a quality connection. So it looks like there's at the moment maybe some distance between the two of you, with this Temperance Alchemist making an appearance here. It implies that there's distance between you, and the distance between you would need some time to work out those obstacles, whatever's in the way from you guys. So there could be distance, so I already said that a whole bunch of times. Or other obstacles that kind of don't have it in alignment. You know, some, do I continue to say differences? I said distance. Differences. The Alchemist blends energies together that don't normally mix well, though, like hot and cold. Hot and cold, wet and dry. But anyhow, at the end of it, there's reciprocated love. And again, like I seen in Gemini's reading, there's or was it Cancer's reading actually? Cancer, the 4th house, there was a lot of love. I mean, there was a pentacle on the table, but then as things progressed, it diminished to a cup. A cup is better than nothing. The pentacle is the high of highs. Anyways, we're looking at that type of dynamic. There's an impasse about you guys actually coming together in the process of being alchemized. For those of you who are in contact and working those details out, this would be a reading to resonate more with you. For those of you that are out of contact and not even making a way to work things out, Not sure how this reading would resonate, except for that would explain why there's a page of cups at the end of the day. It looks like there could be a lack of reciprocated effort to actually make this a reality. Okay, for sure. Now we'll move to look at Virgo's connection with Aries, the first house. Okay. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Virgo and Aries, the sixth and first house. Okay, so this is specifically talking about the connections that are actually moving forward, and it looks like there's a long-term connection in the work. It looks like you guys are moving into a new chapter, have already experienced ups and downs, highs and lows, trials and tribulations, as you guys have weathered the storm together, again with this being a knight coming on the stage with momentum and moving forward and moving towards the Magician here. It looks like things are in alignment to be the perfect one, the match. This is compatibility. This is a yes. This connection is ascending to a higher level of commitment with high likelihood for longevity and sustainability. All right, that's what we have on the table for this connection. Let's clarify. We'll put a pin on that. A pin in that reading. That's a complete reading for some Virgo and Aries. Now, let's continue to add context to see if it, let's see what we can see. All right, yeah, because here it looks like there was potential and a desire to have this connection be serious and move it to a higher level of commitment, but for some reason there were boundaries, there's a wall, there's some sort of a blockage that broke it down, dissolved that possibility from taking place and from happening. There was a rejection right here. It didn't get off the ground good at all. It even looks like it was an offense. That looks really offensive too. Like, whoa. Okay. And then as far as getting off the ground and, this being the one, it looks like there was high potential for that to be a likelihood. But, so it almost also looks like it's not out of the picture, but it just feels very unrealistic now. But it looks like this could have been the one, but it didn't get off the ground. It's almost questionable, like how could that be the one with this type of rejection? But this hangman clarifying the Magician, it signifies that there would be more time. Like definitely the timing is out of alignment, and it looks like there's some qualities clearly that are not compatible, that would not, it's just, yeah, it almost looks like the one who got away, but it's really even hard to say how could that be the one that got away with that type of delivery, with that type of rejection, with that type, but that's what I'm looking at there, guys. All right, so yes, guys, thank you for your support and commentary. Okay, I'll be back to do another as soon as possible. Until next time, peace.